And we continue with our special musical captions. We've shown a couple of groups already that make the music, and we thought it would be interesting to find out how a record is actually recorded in a studio. Action 8's David Tyree has that assignment.
Well, Sally, you know the procedure of actually recording a song for the purpose of making a record is pretty much the same whether it's done in Nashville or here in Grand Junction. It's taking that procedure and turning it into an art that gets really tricky. We went to Hot Rod Studios here in town, and with the aid of local musicians Bobby Baugh, Malcolm Mitchell, as well as Mark Shortis, also a musician and owner of the studio, we traced the process of making a record.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take another one and we'll listen to them.
Okay.
So I thought that stunk. No.
It wasn't too bad.
That was good.
I thought my part was good. We're hearing ourselves play through our headsets, and it's going onto the tape as we're hearing it. See, if we were playing through amplifiers like you do on stage, it's not quite as, it's a little more diffused. But we do have to keep these sounds contained so that the drum track stays clean and the guitar track is clean of all other sounds. And we're just doing basic tracks here, see? So once the basic track feels good, we can go back and add sweetening, like on keyboards and whatever little part. Let's say if there's a lead part that doesn't quite come off, we can punch in, if you know what I mean, so that we can, if there's a bad note, we can get it out of there.
The embellishments, as Malcolm was saying, and the little bit of cleanup and
The sweetener.
enhancements, all that happens, a little bit later. But it's a building block method, but this being the first stage.
Okay, and now we need to listen to the track and see if we like it. If there's anything wrong with it, then we'll just do it again. If we like it, then we'll just move on to the next stage.
Sometimes we play this same part all day long.
Rub that off.
So you're just marking everything on the mixing board as to who's going to be.
That's right. That's when we mix. We'll know who's where.
Drum, guitar, bass, vocal, lead.
Right, as you just kind of, you work with each one individually, do the best you can with it, and then you put them all together.
Oh, that's why we're not getting any sound.
And
because you can't hear anything. We listen to it. If it sounds good, we keep it. If it doesn't, we ace it out.
What do you think?
I'd like a little more of the keyboard, especially on the chorus part, that part. That's a nice feeling there.
And Malcolm, everybody gets involved in the mixing.
Well, basically, I have a tendency to stay out of this unless something really doesn't feel right or something like that. If something's real obvious, the song is not coming off like I think it needs to, then I'll interject. Otherwise, these guys are more knowledgeable. He mentioned that the synthesizer part could be louder in the chorus. So we'll go back, find the synthesizer part, which we've already got marked, and we'll just pick it up in volume. And when the chorus comes around, we'll make sure we blend it accordingly.
How long is it going to take you to mix this record? Guessing.
Oh, well, anywhere from hours to, like you said, days, depending on the amount of time you've got and the deadlines you're on.
And also, it's nice to get back. After you do your basic tracks, it's nice to give it a couple days to sink in and rest from it. Then come back and re-listen to it again with a fresh ears. That's what editing like Mark does. That's where you can get into, in the studios I've seen, you can move parts of songs around through editing. As I guess you wouldn't naturally do in film, but you can take a chorus of a song and move it to the front or move it to the back, or take an extra 4 measures out of the middle of the song that sounded cool, a drum solo or a beat or something, and move it to any part of the song you want through editing. When you finally get your master mix to the point where you like it, you feel it's the best you can get, then you're ready to put it on to your half-track master. This boils it all down to 2 in stereo
with your mix, which is what they press onto the records.
Okay, that's at the end of the process. What we do is we come in, we set up the equipment, we mic everything, we get our sound checks happening, we lay down our basic tracks, we check them out, make sure they're all right, then we go back and we put in our overdubs, which consist of, you know, other instruments, lead, guitar leads if we want, if we haven't laid them down with the basics, the lead vocal, backup vocals. Then we go ahead and we play it back through the mixer and we mix it, we put effects on what we want effects on, and then we bounce it down to the 2-track where we print the final copy.
But anybody could make a record. But as Malcolm quoted one time when we were in LA, that you can't buy a hit. You could spend hundreds of thousands, like Fleetwood Mac or many groups do every year, on an album, contemplating on making that $1 million hit, and a lot of times it doesn't work. Out of the blue, you can have a song that produced for, you know, under $20,000, a whole album like the My Sharona, and go gold in 13 days. So there's no guarantees as to the amount of money you spend to the amount of music you're actually putting out.
Yeah.
Sally, we begin like to express our thanks to Mark Shortis of Hot Rod Studios and to Bobby Bow and Malcolm Mitchell for their patience and help in producing this piece.
Okay, thank you, David.